Left in a row, hand bare to stare. Where did you go to nowhere? What did you have that to eat for nothing? No, you had to fast for the strange and the slow for the huge, foolish project. Makes use. Absolutely no difference in what people think of you. Die for the mineral. Left in a row, hand bare to stare. Where did you go to nowhere? What did you have that to eat for nothing? No, you had to fast for the strange and the slow for the huge, foolish project. Makes use. Absolutely no difference in what people think of you. Die for the minerality, it'll become a vegetable for the animality, and becoming a man and why you fear disappearance for. Next time I shall bring forth the wings and the feathers like the angels and soaring higher than the angels and whether you cannot imagine. Left in a row, hand bare. Left in a row, hand bare to stare. Left in a row, hand bare to stare. Left in a row, hand bare to stare. Where did you go to nowhere? What did you have that to eat for nothing? No, you had to fast for the strange and the slow for the huge, foolish project. Makes use. Absolutely no difference in what people think of you. Die for the minerality, it'll become a vegetable for the animality, and becoming a man and why you fear disappearance for. Next time I shall bring forth the wings and the feathers like the angels and soaring higher than the angels, and whether you cannot imagine that shall be or not. The soul receives for the soul their knowledge, and therefore not the book of the tongue. Knowledge of the mysteries and comforting, emptiness of the mind, illumination of the heart. Is thou left in a row, hand bare to stare. Where did you go to nowhere? What did you have that to eat for nothing? No, you had to fast for the strange and the slow for the huge, foolish project. Makes use. Absolutely no difference in what people think of you. Die for the minerality, it'll become a vegetable for the animality, and becoming a man and why you fear disappearance for. Next time I shall bring forth the wings and the feathers like the angels and soaring higher than the angels, and whether you cannot imagine that shall be or not. The soul receives for the soul their knowledge, and therefore not the book for the tongue. Knowledge of the mysteries and comforting, emptiness of the mind, illumination of the heart. Is thou activate, really. See, at every moment of the response, and be the action observed, and whatever is pure heart, and something is born to you, your consequence of every action. You be harsh like such. Reply with the good for the ransom, and spite whoever enters. Smite on the brow for this shrine for the love. Fool, you sheep for the gold, and rub their eyes for the damage, image of the heart. Make yourself wrong for the self, for the one stroke, for the sword, for the never the trace, and the soft iron for the steel mirror. Cast a squire, rest off the contribution of the star without unseen, what marvelous routes did you take with the rubby cunning? Beating with the wings and feathers, you broke for the breeze of the cage, you rising up to the sky, attained for the rest, so then you broke up. Eyes out, trapped by no woman, hearts runs call for the flowing of beyond space and time, love sick, nightingale with huge rolling long owls, came to the center rose garden, flew off to meet the rose, wind to the fleeting world, cause you hear the ache, finally you joined to the tavern, and turn it like an arrow, spare for the bow, with wings straight, to the bullseye for the bliss, and phantom for giving you false sides, and turn from the illusion of your journey, land of the truth. Now the sun, having to teach for the crow, having to teach for this road, you never have the time for you to go. Only heard, you barely see the soul, but you buy, look at all yours is the soul of souls, concealed for the old heart, wonderful bird I am, sticking to heights and flapping of the wings and you smash the spears of your enemy. Flowers flee, autumn, you are fearless, rose that grows in the street, wind, left in the road, 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 hand bare to stare. Left in the road, hand bare to stare. Left in the road, left in the road, hand bare to stare. Where did you go to nowhere? What did you have that to eat for nothing? You had to fast for the strange and the slow. What still you call it? Whatever the price of you something's. Substance for the working, but allowing some magical reversal to occur. You see this scorpion pit for the objects of desire, but all the beautiful expanse around it, and the dangerousness for me. With the snakes and ends is how you stray the strain of fear, death, and the emptiness, and whatever how you perverse the attachments to what you want. Now that you have heard me, for the misapprehensions with the listening at the altars, and answers for the same subject. String for the birds, pearls, key for the monks, spoils, adopted for the son, educated for the providing of the royalty of the boy, later made for the vice regent, regent, seated on a gold throne beside the cell. One day you found a young man weeping, while you, the companion of the emperor, entire nations is rained out. Before you light stars with the plan, the young man, remembering the father with how this could be, the way that you fear for the changing of the, which means praise to the end for the spirit, poverty, emptiness, attachment, beliefs, blood ties, the desires, comforting habits, not listening to, the seem to protect the imprison. They are the worst enemies, and they make you afraid for the living emptiness, and someday you will reap the tears of the delight in the coat. Remember the mistaken the parents, no, for the embody your nature and spirit, help it grow for the growing device. Body becomes eventually like a vest, and the chainmail for the peaceful years not too hot. Some of them are too cold to the winters of the bodies of desires. Another way for the imprinted associate. You must be patient with and the companion, helpful. Patience expands the capacity to love and feel the peace. Patience to the rose and close to the thorn to keep it fragrant. Patience that gives that male camel. Still nursing to the third year for the patience of what the prophets showed to us. Beauty for the careful sewing of the shirt and the patience that it contains. The friendship, loyalty, high patience for the strength of the connections. Feeling lonely, ignorant. Dignitates indicates that you haven't been patient with those who mix with honey blends for the milk, and you say anything that comes and goes when the rise with the sets. It's not what I love, and everything's with the caravan fire left. It's flare left slow. Alone beside the road, none but the better. What's the strong one to say for heaven's non-existence? But still you call it whatever the price of vice you substance for the working that allowed in some magical reversal to a cure. You see this scorpion pit for the objects of desire, but all the beautiful expanses around it and the dangerous and swarming with the snakes and this is how you stray to screen your fear of death and the emptiness and whatever you how you perverse the attachments to what you want. Now that you have heard me, for the misapprehensions with the listening at the altars and adders for the same subject, string for the parts, pearls. But still you call it whatever the price of vice you substance for the working that allowed in some magical reversal to a cure. You see this scorpion pit for the objects of desire, but all the beautiful expanses around it and the dangerous and swarming with the snakes and the is how you stray to screen your fear of death and the emptiness and whatever you how you perverse the attachments to what you want. Now that you have heard me, for the misapprehensions with the listening at the altars and adders for the same subject, string for the parts, pearls, king for the monks, spoils, and adopted for the son, educated for the providing of the royalty, and the boy later made for the vice regent, regent, seated on the gold throne beside the cell. One day you found a young man weeping, while you, for the companion of the emperor, the entire nations is rained out. Before you like stars with the man, the young man, remembering mother but father, but how this scared you be the way that you fear for the changing of the, which means spreads to the end for the spirit, poverty, emptiness. Attachment, beliefs, blood ties to desires, confident habits, not listening to, you seem to protect but they imprison. They're the worst enemies and they make you afraid for the living emptiness, and someday you feel weep for the tears that you die in the coat. Remember the mistaken the parents, no, for the body, your nature and spirit, help the growth for the growing advice. Body becomes eventually like a vest in the chainmail for the peaceful years, not too hot. Some at the end too cold to the winter, the bodies of desires. Another way for the unpredictable associate, whom you must be a patient with and the companion, helpful. Patience expands the capacity to love and feel the peace. Patience to the rose and close to the thorn and keeping it fragrant. Patience that gives that male camel, still nursing to the third year for the patience of what the prophets showed to us. Beauty for the careful sewing of the shirt and the patience that it contains, the friendship, loyalty, high patience for the strength of the connection. Feeling lonely, ignorant. Indicates that you haven't been patient with those who mix with honey blends for the milk, and you say anything that comes and goes when the rise with the sets. It's not what I love, and everything's with the caravan fire left. It's flare left slow. Alone beside the road, none but the better. What's the strong one to say for the heavens non-existence?
But still you call it
Guess it's more like the unseen progress of a man being the flute of music and lead all vine. Then for the mountains to echo in the lead move to the defeat of her victory. Lions emblazoned high on the flags, unfurled for the wind, invisible for the sweeping through the first appeared for the realm and iron and mate. These then came to the world for the plants, living for the end life for the many years of the calling of the mind. What he had been taken for the onward way, for the animal existence and more. Remember it was not. For the life, vegetative, safe when he feels himself move and desire to towards in the season and seek sweet flowers and the babes that seek to the breast and not know why. Against why, his creators why, there you know, uplifted from the inhabit. Man's estate from the from realm to realm and advancing into becoming intelligent and you can be keen enough for wit. He is now, for the no memory of the past abides with him, and for the reason souls with the changes be abode. Though he's falling asleep and God will not leave him not, forgetfulness and waking. Will laugh to think what troubled dreams he had, and one of his happy state of being. He could never forget and perceive that all those pains.
Guess it's more like the unseen.
Guess it's more like the unseen progress of man. Guess it's more like the unseen progress of a man, being through the music and Lee of iron, then for the mountains are echoing in thee move to the defeat of her victory, lions, emblazoned high on the flags, unfurled for the wind, invisible for the sweeping. Guess it's more like the unseen progress of a man. Guess it's more like the unseen progress of a man, being through the music and Lee of iron, then for the mountains are echoing in thee move to the defeat of her victory, lions, emblazoned high on the flags, unfurled for the wind, invisible for the sweeping through the. First appeared for the realm and iron and mate. These then came to the world for the plants, living for the life for the many years in the calling of the mind. What he had been taken for the onward way, for the animal existence and more. Remember it was not. For the life, vegetative, safe when he feels himself move and desire to towards in the season and seek sweet flowers and the babes that seeks with the breast and not know why. Against why, his creators why, there you know, uplifted from the inhabit. Man's estate from the from realm to realm and advancing into becoming intelligent and you can be keen enough for wit. He is now, for the no memory of the past abides with him, and for the reason souls and for the changes be abode. Though he's falling asleep and God will not leave him not, forgetfulness and waking. Will laugh to think what troubled dreams he had, and one of his happy state of being. He could never forget and perceive that all those pains. Sorrow was so effective, the sleep of the God for the vain, illusion it for this world to seem lasting and know that this sleeper's dream who, when he appointed by day shall be dawn. Escapes for the darkening, imagining of the haunting him, and turning with the laughter, the fancy with the grief and holding for the everlasting home. And the reality and appearance of light that makes the color invisible over night. The green was her banish for the sight. So see the life of the darkness of the mating and unknown, and God is seeing all denies himself in eternity in immortal eyes with the dark jungle and the tiger. Bright for the views of the kite, the lion spirit leaps to the lift. Me, the far of a journey, earth far, city to the view. Loves those city I knew for the verse and knew not for the city's worth, and turned to the folly for the wandering of the earth and those so sweet. Must need a pass for the cattle, graze for the green grass, maize for the leaf for the eating look, and celestial meat for the assist of the vine, the voice to love, the root, the tape, the drum, to the yet, to confine the paper singing that they all fall, inhabiting for the snake, I crept, without foot or wing, that wine, that was the laughter, the grace to sip, the rose to the taste of it without the throat or lip, spirit to go through the journey for the long voice, and said, didn't you go home for the traveling I made, and much I cried for the never loving golden raiment and only great woes. Even though I could shrink, to be gone from here for them, ever so thin and apart, and did I fear that I spirit let go? Or maybe I should be in the night for thee, for these an act of vain. Maybe that this the enchant for the mating and much to the God, for the love God, for the enchantment, for the capture me a while, for the ignorance of the when my wings spread wide, palace into the prison I swiftly sped. Until what I tell, I come. For the pen is broken, I'm down, maybe. Part of the lie for the night rightly balanced, for the cold sleepers to browse and wherever I fall. Hundreds of thousands of years, maybe the dust grains, and floating and flying and wheeled over the air, for the forgetting of the ever being of the state. Sleep, migrate back to the spring loose, for the four-branch time, spring for the crossing the waiting room, wake for the huge pasture, nurse for the milk of the millennia, everything with its difficult ways and only knowing the consciousness of the decisions and personal memory too much small to place. Every human is being streamed for the night, loving nowhere for the during the day, for the sun absorbing the work. You can find these through the ways of passion. Guess it's more like the unseen.
Echoing in the to the defeat of her victory, lions, emblazoned high on the flags, unfurled for the wind, invisible, spinning through. First appeared for the realm and iron and mate. These then came to the world for the plans of living life for the many years of the calling of the mind. But he had been taken from the onward way for the animal existence and more. The vegetable, safe when he feels himself move and desire to towards in the season and sees sweet flowers and the babes that seek to the breast and not know why. Against wise, creators why, there no uplifted from the anatomy. Man's the state from the front where to rare and fascinated, becoming intelligent and you can be keen of the wit. He is not the moment of the past abides with him and for the person reasons of the shade is near. He's fallen as people God will not leave him not forgetfulness and waking. We'll laugh to think.
Guess it's more like the unseen progress of a man being flew to music and lead our violin for the mountains to echo and the lead move to the defeat of her victory lions emblazoned high on the flags unfurled for the wind invisible for the sweeping through the first appeared for the realm and iron and mate these then came to the world for the plants living for the end life for the many years in the calling of the mind what he had been taken for the onward way for the animal existence and more remember it was not for the life, vegetative, safe when he feels himself move and desire to towards in the season to see sweet flowers and the babes that seek to the breast and not know why. Against wise, creators why, there you know, uplifted from the inanimate. Man's the state from the firm realm to realm and advancing into becoming intelligent and you can be keen of the wit. He is now for the no memory of the past abides with him and for the reason souls with his changes to be at bow. Though he's falling asleep and God will not leave him not forgetfulness and waking. We'll laugh to think what troubled dreams he had and one of his happy state of being. He could never forget and perceive that all those pains. Sorrow was so effective to sleep in the guile for the vain, and losing it for this world to seem lasting and know that this sleeper's dream who, when he appointed by day shall be dawn, escapes for the darkening, the imagining, and the haunting him, and eternity with the laughter, the fancy, with the grief, and the holding for the everlasting home. And the reality and appearance and light to make the color invisible overnight. The green was her banished for the sight. So see the life of the darkness and the mating and the known that God is seeing all denies himself in eternity in the mortal eyes of the dark jungle and the tiger. Bright for the views with the lion spirit leaps to the lift. Made a far of a journey, earth far, city to the view. Loves those city I knew for the verse and knew not for the city's worth and turned to the folly for the wandering of the earth and those so sweet. Must need a pass for the cattle, graze for the green grass, maize for the leaf for the eating look, and celestial meat for this is the divine, the voice to love, the work, to tape the drum to the yet, to confine the paper sing of the all fall, inhabiting for the snake I crept, without foot or wing, that line, that was the laughter, the grace to sip, the rose that I tasted without the throat or lip, spirit that goes for the journey for the long voice, and said, then to go home for the traveling I made them, much I cried for the never loving golden raiment and only great woes, even though I could shrink. To be gone from here for them, ever so thin and apart, and did I fear that I spirit that go? Or maybe I should be in the night for thee, for these the next vein. Maybe that this the enchant for the mating and much to the guile, for the love God, for the enchantment, for the capturing me a while, for the ignorance and the when my wings spread wide, palancing into the prison I swiftly sped, until what I tell, I come, for the pen is broken, I'm done, maybe. Part of the lie for the not rightly balanced, for the cold sleepers do browsing wherever I fall. Hundreds of thousands of years, maybe the dust rings, and floating and flying in wheel up in the air, for the forgetting of the ever being of the state. Sleep, migrate back to the spring loose, for the fourth branch time, spring for the crossing the waiting room, wake for the huge pasture, nurse for the milk of the millennia, everything with its difficult ways and only knowing the consciousness of the decisions and personal memory too much small to place. Every human is being streamed for the night, loving nowhere for the during the day, for the sun absorbing and work. You can find these still the ways of passion. Guess it's more like the unseen. Left in a row, hand bare to stare. Where did you go to nowhere? What did you have that to eat for nothing? No, you had to fast for the changing of the slow for the huge, foolish project. Makes heaps. Absolutely no difference in what people think of you. You die for the minerality to become a vegetable for the animality and becoming a man and why you fear disappearance for. Next time I shall bring forth the wings and the feathers like the angels and soaring higher than the angels and whether you cannot imagine that shall be or not. Soul receives for the soul their knowledge and therefore not the book for the tongue. Knowledge of the mysteries and comforting, emptiness of the mind. Illumination of the heart. If thou activate, really, and see at every moment with response, and be the action observed, and whatever is pure heart, and something is born to your consequence of every action. You be harsh like such. Reply with for good for the ransom of spite, whoever enters. Smite on the brow, for this shrine for the love. Fool, you sheep for the goat, and rub that eyes for the image of the heart. Make yourself wrong for the self, for the one stroke, for the sword, for the never to trace, and the soft iron for the steel mirror. Cast a squire, rest off for the contribution of the star without a name. It's marvelous departed gone to the unseen. What marvelous route did you take for the world becoming? Beating with the wings and feathers you broke for the free for the cage, and you're rising up to the sky and tame for the red soul and you were prize falcon. Trapped by an old woman with the hard drummer's call for the flowing of the beyond space and time. Lovesick, nightingale with human flow and wrong owls. Came to the center of rose gardens, flow off to meet the rose. Wind to the fleeting world cause you heal the ache. Finally you joined to the tavern and turned like an arrow. Sped for the bow and went straight to the bullseye for the bliss and phantom for giving you false sighs and turned for the illusion of your journey. Land of the truth. Now the sun, having to reach for the crow, having to vanishing from this world, but you never have the time for you to go. Only her can barely see the soul, but you, why look at all yours is the soul of souls of the seer for the old heart, wonderful bird I am, seeking divine heights and flapping of the wings and you smash pointed spears of your enemy. Flowers flee, autumn, but you are the fearless rose that grows amidst the freezing wind. Pouring down like rain of heaven fall upon a rooftop with the disk and ran into every direction to escape through the drain spout. Now the words are over for the pain, green is gone, and now you have gone to rest for the arms beloved. But get away for the falcon, songbird put me with the owls of the snow for the odor of the garden used for something fermented for the tavern, went arrow to the target. Bow for the time and place the man stays in the cemetery, pointed the way, but you became the light, became wonderful to be famous and famous, and why you be engraved the velvet and the heart for living in the center. Living in the center, with flying over to the pink from this and becoming ever rare bird, and with one wing for the fear and new hope to be autumn and rose flowing on the ground for the cold wind and the rain on the roof and down and ride a spout. Passes again taking the pain down to rest and rest. You found a friend to be with. He comes. 4 copies of heaven's angels and 4 pictures moldering decay and how although your beauty break and fall, which of them to give life for the doing air for beds with the heart with idle woes and how disclosure for the encounterment of the rapture with the ear and the glass landscapes. Great listening shows and take pairs, but it's only as we feel. Far away for the living foundations and you from the brook and tranquil to the main staring barren to the fountain, never die for these foolish and ways of vain. Rightly no soul whence go. Created things in doubt the river and you cease to flow down, sittings in silence with everlasting springs. Farewell to the sorrow for the quiet mind drink long and deep. Others finally deem for the channel empty and perchance by finding unfathomable dreams and streams in the moment that you can find this low worst world. Last given for the latterest whereby you will find inspired for the steps.
Many of the original team worked here to bring information and create this vast information center that was to be used to connect many galactic systems. Then there was a great war among the creator gods and the space beings whose stories are in the ancient manuscripts of this planet won the fight. They came here because they wanted this place for many of their own reasons. In Prime Creator's universe here,